Alright YouTube, what's good? It is Jamstar. In this episode of Bravery Camp, I'm going to be covering Shantotto. So Shantotto is my marksman of choice after CEO Taku. I'm playing him more fundamentally than optimally. For everyone who's kind of watching the video and questions some of the decisions that I do make during these clips. So with Shantotto in general, she has such a strong presence in the battlefield when she's healthy, allowing her bravery attacks to have massive burst damage. But when her HP drops below 2500, she goes into an enrage mode where her bravery attacks change into single target. So this allows opportunities for frame traps to lock the opponent down and follow-ups from teammates. Her EX is Colossal Shantotto, which makes her go into a massive form and does a huge AoE blast on the floor. And it also has a lot of iframes, so as the meta develops, we kind of see it more as a reversal than actually an opportunity to build bravery. So this match is on Cornelia. It's just a random solo queue match. It's just a bit of a warm-up before I start playing the EU League. So with this particular match and the stuff that I need to look out for, they've got two Vanguards and they've got a Vaughn. So Vaughn scales really, he scales late game, and he can just snowball the team out. But the thing is that he has no close quarter options, so it gives me a chance to kind of trade in certain favours. Sephiroth as well, I don't really want to get caught out by him while he has Enfeeble. And then his EX Genova. And then even get caught out by Furion. So it's kind of a really tricky match. But we have myself and a Dark Knight Cecil, so we can kind of just poke away at them and build bravery like that. So we're going to go into the match right now. Alright, so we start off in the tree. So a lot of people have this sort of negative opinion with the trees, where they don't like fighting in the trees in Cornelia, especially as a marksman, because some projectiles they just go through the trees and it blocks them. But with Shantotto, she does have moves like Thunder and Earth, which I just casted right there, where it goes, it's like a sort of search bravery, if that. So I'm just here applying my pressure, and then Cecil runs in to try and break neutral straight away. So Sephiroth has a lot of bravery and goes in to try and punish Vayne, but what happened was that if he was locked onto Vayne, then it gives me a chance to kind of just throw Salvation Scythe, especially with Sephiroth, where you need to learn to space your jump in neutral too, because it's really unsafe on whiff. So I'm more or less just trying to hide behind the Vanguards. Got a meaty hit there by Sephiroth, and Vaughn looks to go in, but I end up throwing Salvation Scythe and catching him out. I noticed Furion's in and I'm throwing projectiles, and I got a 2-for-1 on that, and they've even been poisoned as well. So I noticed the crystal's up and I make my way towards the crystal, and then I notice 6 and 5 gets knocked away and ends up chasing, both of them chase towards me, and I go towards the crystal. But what I end up doing right here is that I sit behind the crystal instead of in front and have them behind my back, so I can damage the crystal while watching over them at the same time. The thing is with HP attacks as well is that they go through the crystal, and one thing that I just noticed as well is that on healthy mode, which is what we're just going to call it now, the fireball actually goes through the crystal and hits the opponents, which is really cool, but both of them are just trying to shut me out because I've got a lot of bravery. And Furion's on 0, so he can be broken pretty easily. So Vaughn goes to throw a Pyroclasm, and then he gets punished for that. So what I just want to bring up right there is that that's a nasty online habit that a lot of people have. They'll throw out an attack, and sometimes it's not auto-cancelable by sidestepping, so they'll throw out the attack and sidestep. Because I'm used to seeing that online habit so much, it was kind of like, okay, I'm going to wait for him to throw out Salvation Scythe, wait for him to throw out Pyroclasm, and I'll just throw out Salvation Scythe, so I've got the quick confirm on that. So Furion's just there, he's really stationary, so I get a free hit on him. And I tried to throw out Salvation Scythe to chase him. One of the things with the online is that on the arcade you don't really have this issue. But on the online you'll throw it, it'll make the hit confirm sound, but it doesn't hit confirm. So I get pinned to the wall by Vaughn. So one of the options that Vaughn had there is that he had no sort of close quarter HP moves, so it would have been best for him to get the wall splat and then just bravery attack again, instead of sitting there holding Pyroclasm. Because I think what he was expecting me to do is to break out of that and then sidestep, so he gets the read on the fireball, but holding shield and dropping to the floor is another option. So they kind of realise that I'm a problem and they just want to get rid of me as soon as possible, but Cecil pokes him away. the enemy team put Bravery region, and I instantly put out the tornadoes there. So if they try and approach me, they'll at least get hit by the tornadoes. So they kind of completely ignore the crystal. So they run back and then they end up going after Vayne. So there isn't really much I can do there in terms of pressure. So what I end up doing is just getting the rest of the crystal, and I think I go to summon right now. So yeah, they completely ignored me. Sephiroth ignored me as well. As you can see on the map, he's just going towards Vayne instead of dealing with me when I'm trying to summon. Alright, so we've got Shiva in the end. Shiva's not really that amazing on this map because it's really massive, so our ice traps don't really fill up as much. So I'm not getting the trade on that. I didn't actually save Cecil in time, so I'm just trying to utilize the traps. So this was actually an execution error right here. What I should have done is I was supposed to look onto the Furion and do Salvation Scythe and then save the Vayne, but instead I end up hitting Sephiroth. But that's only because I play on character position instead of list, so I'm trying to train myself to learn list. So I throw another Salvation Scythe again and I get the confirm. I see Vaughn on low health, and their team only has one stock left, so we end up chasing towards Vaughn. Yeah, so he's pretty much isolated, so I get a bit too thirsty here and don't realise the space on the orb, and I get hit. So one of the things that you can kind of see here is that I've got an orange glow, and my health is below 2,500. So I'm now in enrage mode, so my moves will be more concentrated on single hit damage. So hopefully I'll be able to try and get some sort of holds and follow-ups for my team. So I'm trying to go with Thunder right here, I'm just casting it, because the whole potential on it is really mad. Yeah, so I'm just trying my best to peel them away, but I get knocked back. So I notice the Sephiroth has a lot of bravery and he can potentially kill me. He whiffs Scintilla, so I go for the punish. And Vaughn's going out with Calamity Sword, so I've got 2 hits on him, so he got hit stunned. So I get Wall Splat here, but I think I got saved. Yeah, I got saved. So them two are dealing with the Sephiroth right there. So what I instantly do is I instantly turn towards where Furion and Vaughn is and just do Colossal Shantotto just to breathe, make some sort of space. So it kind of shakes them off a little bit. So I throw out Salvation Scythe because I know that both of them are pretty close. Both of them are both sidestepped, and they've sidestepped into the Scythe, and I actually managed to get a meaty double kill from that. See, that pretty much just confirms the first match, really. So it kind of gives an idea of how the character is fundamentally played and not optimally played. There's a lot of options that I'm kind of doing where it's like, okay, I could have done this, I could have done that. But overall, like, she has a really strong presence when she's healthy. And then it's like, even when she's in enrage mode, she can kind of set up a lot of stuff. So she can do Thunder into HP2, where it's a sort of AoE blast around her. Alright guys, so this is the second match of this video, and this is during the Season 2 of the EU League. So I debuted playing against Rakuzan, alongside Bowie and Ninzard. So we're on Pandemonium, so with the enemy's team, what I have to pay attention to is their HPs, because they have a lot of stage control, and a lot of utility as well amongst them. One of the issues that I probably will be dealing with is Squall himself, because I'm a marksman and he can just push through my attacks. And then, as I said, with Rough Divide, you can just catch me with the anti-air. One of the tricks to fighting Squall, though, is that a lot of his kit is mainly focused around holding people into follow-ups. So this can give me an opportunity to punish him if he does commit to anything. Fighting Ace, though, I do have priority over some of his attacks early game, with the burst damage that Shantotto has when she's healthy. But I know that I can take advantage of most of the trades being in my favour for that matter. So we're going to start the match right now. So this is on Pandemonium, and I think we get the high side right at the start of this match. So I'm going to start it right here. Normally, like with most, if it's like a high side, low side on Pandemonium, it depends on your comp and what you guys tend to do. With the Vaughn video that I've done like a while back, we chose to hold high side, especially with the kit that I was running. With this, because of Bowie's passive, where he gets his jobs maxed out and they become more effective, Ninzard gets his buffs from landing more consecutive hits, we actually choose to invade them on this. So we're slowly advancing down. I'm just applying my projectiles now and again. given some leeway. Onion's got a few, Onion of Strife's got a few buffs, so I might want to be careful if I try to overcommit to anything. He goes out with Shining Wave. I'm literally just watching the schools to see if he actually rushes down. And there you go. So see how I got the punish right there? When I said that if he overcommits to anything, because a lot of his moves leave him stationary for follow-ups. So it leaves him stationary for punishes as well, so I instantly just threw out Salvation Siphon caught in there. So I was kind of watching for him to overextend and get the punish from that. Very Ninzod go in as well. So Ninzod actually whiffs Earthquake right there, but what happened is that I actually called out that I was watching him to try and catch Snow off guard. So I instantly just throw a projectile towards 2 and 3 and then just one of them's got hit anyway. But the thing is, School comes towards me. He actually got up and had the iframe, so he instantly just rushed me down. And Ninzod ends up trying to save me. So he whiffs off Divide and I tried to punish that with a HP move. I'm just trying to keep my distance at this point. So what Ninzod tried to do there, he tried to throw a slow out on the School, but it actually missed and ended up hitting the crystal. So no one actually got affected by that, I don't think. So Ninzod tries to save me and I tried to save him. So here's where it kind of goes a bit downhill. Looking at the map right here, you can kind of see Bowie and Ninzod just going after 2 and 3. And one's the marksman, so you've got 2 marksmen fighting each other. So this kind of led towards tunneling because they have no marksman, they have no one to really cover their back. Okay, let me try and isolate him quickly. So he ends up going all the way around. And Warrior of Light is slowly accumulating Bravery. So I'm just trying to catch him off guard. And this is where it kind of goes really bad. Warrior of Light right here has a lot of Bravery. Now, Bowie calls out that he's going to throw out a HP attack. Right, and I've already committed towards a HP attack to get Snow. So I get Snow on the hard knockdown, but me and Ninzod both get caught in the crossfire of that HP that Onion of Strife threw out, and we both get killed for it. And then instantly right here, I think they go to rush Bowie. Yeah, and then Bowie dies right here. So there's a few things about this match and the reason why I lost. One of them was mainly tunneling. And another thing is map awareness. So I wasn't paying attention to the map. I wasn't paying attention to the Bravery that Warrior Light has. And I mispositioned myself while tunneling Snow. So I've done what I wanted to do, but it kind of cost us the match as well, where I was placed. So even if, say for example, if I placed myself in a better situation and Ninzod got hit and still died, I would have still been alive to at least support Bowie, and that wouldn't have happened. So sadly we end up on the loss, but I thought I'd just go over mistakes, because these sort of mistakes, they happen in solo queue all the time, they happen in party queue, they happen in tournaments, anything. Like, no one's really perfect. I've made a mistake here, I'm trying to demonstrate that, okay, I'm going to work on my spacing a little more as a marksman, I guess, and try not to make the same mistake again. Alright people, what's good? So this is the third and final match on Midgard, and we're against Rakuzan again. So because of the dynamics of Midgard, both teams have changed the HP moves to favour Wall Rush Potential and Search HPs. I recommend Leviathan and Shiva for Midgard, but my team, we all agreed to pick Bahamut for faster EX moves, as I believe Shantotto and Garland's EX skills are really dominant in Midgard because of all the tight spaces. So with the HP moves, me and Bowie have decided to go Divine Maniton and Geomancer, which are both Search HP moves. Well, Geomancer on the ground is a Search HP. Geomancer here is kind of similar to Calamitous Orb that Varn has, and Ninzod's gone with Earthquake. So we have 2 Searches and 1 Wall Rush Potential, where with the opposite team they have 2 Wall Rush Potentials and 1 Search. So it's a matter of us just being able to utilise the stage and just try and get the cheeky Search HPs in. With Divine Maniton, what I like about it is that even though it has small range, you can actually collide with it and move around while casting the move. So yeah, we're going to go into the match right now. Alright, so we start off in neutral, and I'm just here applying my pressure right here. Just getting those exchanges in. I get clipped. So Skull's looking to evade slowly, and I actually call my team over, so I'm trying to isolate him, and he ends up rushing all the way to the to our side. So what happens here is that I instantly just called out for them to go after Skull, and I'm trying to search the Warrior of Light, and I actually end up getting him, but Snow actually whiffed that Monolith Beam there. So I'm as you can see there, I'm using the stage to my advantage to try and avoid his projectiles. Just getting some cheeky angles right here. And that's another thing that I'm trying to say about Search HPs. So even though he's below me, the Search will still reach him and I'm on top of him, so he has to run up to try and catch me. Skull actually catches me and I end up getting saved by Bowie here, but I'm throwing out another Search to try and punish the ace. I end up getting hit and I get knocked back. So I end up calling out the Crystal, and we're all trying to work towards breaking it. So what happened is that I threw out Monolith Beam, and I think Skull ended up going into it by accident. It didn't really do that much damage, but I ended up getting the refresh on the 1000, and we ended up taking the majority of that Crystal. So what happens right here is that Ninzard knocks away Snow, and I tried to throw Divine Malice into cover Bowie, and I end up getting the hit. Ninzard gets a grab on both of them and pins them to the wall, and I've called him out to cash it out, and I'm watching the Skull while that's going on. So yeah, they're trying to close us off, and I'm just literally abusing the fact that that's a small corner right there, and up catching one of them out with Divine Malice in again. So Snow ends up popping Bravery Conduit, so as you can see, like, it covers the whole section here, so it's really good for like gap closing. They end up using Ren Shield. So Ninzard's been rendered, and I actually call out that I'm trying to help support him. So Skull ends up going to overcommit something, and end up knocking him back. So we've got a bit of neutral right here. Bowie's kind of going really ham. So one of the things that we did is the Crystal was up, and I called to go towards the Crystal, but we didn't actually reach it in time, I don't think. So they ended up breaking all of that Crystal. But what we ended up doing is taking the advantage out of the situation. And Bowie and Ninzard ended up rushing the Skull, taking that meaty 2v1. I noticed the Warrior Light is summoning, so what I do is I teleport towards him. Yeah, I teleport towards him, and then he gets scared and whiffs a move, so I tried to do Divine Malice to punish him. But the thing is, because of Skull being that far away from the map, and no one's near him, they ended up getting the safe summon in the end, so no one could really challenge the Skull then. We're trying to get picked right now, but we want to avoid getting hit by Rammer's Lightning. Skull ends up going in towards Bowie, and I tried to throw out some moves there, and I interrupted him again. So as I mentioned as well, like, a lot of Skull's moves, they leave him stationary, but they're really good for holding, so it's either way. He can either get a follow-up from one of his teammates, or he gets punished for what he's doing. Warrior Light whiffs one of his moves, and I tried to throw out Divine Malice in them for protection. So Ninzard actually sees that he's close to me, and knows that I have a lot of killing bravery. So he called out that he's grabbed someone, and I threw Divine Malice in, and ended up getting the kill. Trying to work with Bowie right here to see if we can actually clip Snow. So I get hit by the Judgment Bolt, and what I end up doing is abusing the iframes on the EX and throw out Colossal Shantotto, and I think I get hit on one of them. But the thing is that I still get provoked and debuffed and buffed when I'm in Colossal. So what happened was that Onion of Strife ran into me and just provoked me straight away and ran off. So we're constantly locked onto him. One of the issues is I think they end up going after Bowie. Yeah, Bowie's a bit too far out. I think he gets caught out here. But we all end up calling back. So we ended up repositioning and just doing HP regen to try and sustain. And I stay in the middle of this section. I end up getting another HP search on the Warrior of Light when you try to overcommit there to a move. So because it's so narrow here, I'm just throwing out Divine Malice in terms of stage control. So another thing that I mentioned as well with online habits on the first match, some people will go for an attack and then dodge straight away. So I instantly like read that situation and threw a fireball and ended up getting the break on him and getting a lot of bravery there. So we look to summon. Bo's really on low health right here, so we told him to just run behind us and summon. So if they end up trying to go towards him, then we can just punish him for it. We end up getting the summon in the end. So I got a lot of bravery and they're still sitting around the corner here, so I tried to throw out Divine Malice in. I end up getting a hit on Ace as well. But I'm too far to try and at least get some form of projectiles in, so I tried to advance a bit slower. While we got the moves from Bahamut as well, I'll throw another Divine Malice in out to try and make sure that they confirm that kill. So I'm throwing out Divine Malice in again, and I think I do it a few more times. So I end up comboing Bo right here. So Bo was being used as, I wouldn't say used as bait, but they rushed him straight away without realizing how much bravery I had. So I end up throwing Divine Malice in again and catching 2 of them. So all of their teams, like 2 of their teammates are kind of bleeding right now, so they don't really want to overextend or commit to anything. And Mega Flare's gone off as well. Bowie threw out Geomancer Wind Slash there to try and get an Oki. And I'm throwing Divine Malice in again. So what happened right there is that Ninzard done Earthquake, and the Warrior of Light sidestepped the Earthquake, but he still got hit by my Divine Malice, so it's a kind of a sort of taking that mix up where, or the 50-50 where you get hit by one thing, or if you don't get hit by one thing, you get hit by another thing. So yeah, that kind of concludes the matches. We actually did win that the whole game in the end, and I would like to play Marksman a bit more when I actually start fully getting used to Shantotto with some of her gimmicks. Like, I'm still not used to what options to do in Rage mode because I don't really get put in it that much. When to kind of use the EX skill, because sometimes we end up using it for reversal situations. But if you see them all bunched together, just use it anyway. You can probably catch all 3 of them and get silly bravery. Another thing is as well that I've figured out as well with Shantotto is that you can do the EX and then do teleport straight afterwards to try and maximize the iframes if you're in a panic situation. Alright guys, so that's pretty much the conclusion for Bravery Camp on Shantotto. Hopefully I should be doing more characters, so be sure to follow me and they'll probably be uploaded over time. So take care everyone.